It's the proclamation recognizing the Who's Your Hero 2016 Ride for Heroes project. Whereas Mike Mayuro, known to many of his student athletes as Coach Mo, has taken it upon himself to honor fallen soldiers and former students from Fountain Fort Carson High School who served in the U.S. Armed Forces and who made the ultimate sacrifice. And whereas Coach Mo and members of the 2016 Ride for Heroes team will ride their bicycles from Fort Carson to the Arlington National Cemetery in honor of 3 former Fountain Fort Carson High School students, Captain Ian Weichel, Sergeant Adam Wilkinson, and Specialist Ronald Tucker, and all military families for the sacrifices they made to protect our freedoms. And whereas there will be a wreath-laying ceremony at the grave of Captain Ian Weichel at the Arlington National Cemetery in Section 60 at the conclusion of the ride. And whereas the ride will raise awareness, educate, and encourage dialogue to appreciate how we honor and support our military and their families. And whereas the ride will also raise awareness and financial support through donations for the Homefront Cares and Pikes Peak chapter of American Gold Star Mothers, 2 organizations that support military families in our community. And whereas Coach Mo will be accompanied on segments of the ride by friends and family Russ Lambert, Peter Mayer, Steve German, John Hinkey, and Mike Rosenthal. Now, therefore, the Board of El Paso County Commissioners hereby recognizes the efforts of Mike Mayero, Coach Mo, to raise awareness for the sacrifices of our local military and their families, and the particular sacrifices made by Captain Ian Weichel, Sergeant Adam Wilkinson, and Specialist Ronald Tucker, and encourages all El Paso County residents to donate to the Who's Your Hero project. Done this 21st day of April 2016 at Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, Amy Lathan, Chair, Dennis Heisey, Vice Chair, Darrell Glenn, Third Commissioner, Sally Clark, and Peggy Littleton, Member, attested by Chuck Borman, County Clerk and Recorder.
Second.
Thank you. So, Coach, what are you doing and why?
Well, first of all, Chair Lathan and board members, Glenn, Littleton, and Heisey, and all the administrative staff, thank you for having us today. We are truly appreciative, and we are honored to be able to be messengers for our community. I would like to start by introducing some of our support team. I'll go left to right here. We have Sylvia Bonacani, who is the president of the Pikes Peak chapter of American Gold Star Mothers, and one of their members, Missy Mosier. We have Andy Kane, who is the chair of the Homefront Cares, and his cohort, Dave Tolan, who is the vice chair for the Homefront Cares organization. And then I have Steve German, who is a retired educator as well, finished his career as the principal out at Carson Middle School, so he has a pretty significant amount of firsthand knowledge of what deployment cycles do to young people who are in the educational system. And then John Hank, who is a retired educator from District 12, and I'm sure he's seen one or two in his days, combined with as an educator and also growing up in the Fountain Widefield security community. The 2016 Ride for Heroes project is one piece of our puzzle. The first part is the Who's Your Hero project. And that's an opportunity for individuals to go to our website and honor individuals that have been their heroes in their lives. The old history teacher in me thinks that those things somehow need to be recorded so that others have access to them. The bicycling portion is simple in its conception, but somewhat complex in its depth. We are riding simply to honor 3 fallen soldiers from our community in Fountain. 3 young men that graduated from Fountain Fort Carson High School. They served our nation, our state, our city, and our community. They made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. Ironically, or perhaps not so, Monday the 18th marked the 10-year anniversary of when Captain Weichel was killed. That's the simple piece. The complex piece is that there are thousands of Captain Weichels, Sergeant Wilkinsons, and Specialist Tuckers. I checked last night, and the current count is 6,878. Individuals over the last 15 years that have given, as Lincoln said in his Gettysburg Address, the last full measure of their devotion. We're kind of a mom and pop group, as you can kind of see. We're a small group of community members that believe in appreciating our military families. We've dedicated the 2,200-mile bicycle ride to our military community, past, present, and future. We're just some guys with bicycles. We're not professional cyclists. We're not even pretend to be professional cyclists. We have a passion and a mission, and that's to represent our community as ambassadors. We're going to reach out to veterans groups, civic groups, school groups, people hanging out at the cafe drinking coffee, whatever it is, as we travel through 6 states on our way to Arlington. Our intent is to honor all of our military families and support them in their service to our country. The ride is very personal to me. I had the opportunity to teach and coach and know all 3 of the young men that we've listed previously. Each of them very unique. Captain Weichel, as a 14-year-old, showed up at my door on the first day of school, about an hour before students were scheduled to arrive, walked in, introduced himself, and said, "I heard you could help me get to West Point." It's a pretty good opening line. And 4 years later, he went to West Point. Along that route, he did a number of other things. Our local Rotary in their Champions program gives out a service recognition award annually in the name of Captain Ian Weichel. Adam Wilkinson, a little bit different and unique in his own right. The son of military parents, graduated early from high school so that he could get to boot camp in January. Didn't want to wait around for May. Ronnie, grandparents were retired military and settled in Fountain. His mom and uncle were classmates of my sister and brothers. Long ties and roots in our community. His mother was 2 of my children's junior high Spanish teacher. She is now teaching at Fountain Fort Carson High School. She took some time off after Ronnie was killed. Our 2 beneficiary agencies are the groups that we hope to benefit from this bicycle ride and our Who's Your Hero project. The Homefront Cares has been around our community for 13 or 14 years. They were started by a couple of individuals who had Air Force roots and simply wanted to reach out to support military families throughout not just El Paso County, but throughout the entire state of Colorado. And I'll certainly, if Andy would like to add to that, I'm sure there's much more to be told. The Pikes Peak chapter of American Gold Star Mothers is the group that no one ever wants to be invited to as a member. They serve Colorado Springs and Pueblo and provide opportunities for their members to move forward by reaching out and helping other people in our community in a variety of tasks and opportunities that come their way. And I'll let Sylvia Bonacani address that if she would like to. I could probably talk for an hour because that's normally what high school teachers are geared toward, about 50 or 55 minutes. I think I will stop there and then I'll field questions as they become appropriate.
Commissioner Heisey.
So Mike, when does your ride commence and from where?
We leave May 1st, which is Sunday morning. We are going to leave from just outside of Gate 20, right there where the shooting range road is at. We'll line up there. The city of Fountain they'll provide a police escort from that point through Fountain. There'll be a small reception at the West Faculty Parking Lot at the high school in Fountain that'll be put on by the leadership students, which is a group that's near and dear to me. I had the good fortune to be the advisor for that leadership group for 22 years during my teaching career. Then we will, our riders are going to be staged. So all of us will ride that first 6.8 miles from the south gate of Fort Carson into Fountain. The remainder of our ride team, one will continue on to Pueblo and ride to Boone. And then we are doing legs of roughly 45 to 55 miles. That first night we will get to Scott City, Kansas. We will be escorted by American Legion Post 38's motorcycle color guard, honor guard motorcycle group. And they will assign 2 or 3 riders to each one of our bicyclists to ensure our safe, passage out of the state of Colorado. They have also helped us coordinate similar groups throughout Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Southern Illinois, and into Virginia that will meet us at various stages and escort us in and out of their communities. But yeah, that's the deal there.
Thanks.
Well, is there anyone else here who would like to share anything before we get final comments from the board?
Hello, good morning. My name is Sylvia Bonacani. I'm the president of the American Gold Star Mothers for the state of Colorado, Pikes Peak chapter. And as Mike has said, you don't really want to join our organization. We are moms that have lost a son or a daughter while serving. And as Mike has said, we have lost over 6,000 plus members of the military in a combat zone. As Gold Star Mothers Organization, we also include members who have lost a son or a daughter while serving honorably in the military. If you ever have served, you know the motto, train hard, fight hard. So accidents happen while you fight. You train with live fire, and you have simulated war conditions. So we are an all-inclusive organization. We also include moms who have lost their child when they completed suicide. As you know, it's a growing epidemic. People come back from a war and multiple deployments and have this unseen wound in those horrifying nightmares that their only solution to escape those is to complete suicide. Our organization goes way back to World War I, when it was customary to display a blue star in windows of homes, offices, businesses, churches, just to indicate that how many members of a family organization were serving in the military. If a member was killed during service, a gold star was superimposed upon that to indicate the ultimate sacrifice, and that is where the gold star comes from. However, with the abolishment of the draft and with less than 1% of the population of the United States serving in the military, the sacrifice and the hardship of the meaning of a gold star is actually being lost. There are many, many people that have no idea what even a gold star is. As an organization, what we have found, if we help others, particularly military geared, it helps us in the recovery. So the local chapter has teamed up with the Wounded Warrior Battalion on Fort Carson, and we help soldiers that have been wounded and are transitioning out or waiting on the medical board. So we help them with day-to-day things. We also bake cakes and make sure every soldier within that battalion has a birthday cake during that month. We volunteer and help cooking on their monthly barbecues. Let's see, with the veterans stand down, the homeless veterans stand down, we always volunteer there and we're in the process of completing 250 scarves to be given out. So things along that line, that's what we are doing. But the biggest thing for us is the saying that if somebody still remembers you, you are truly not gone. And for us as moms and dads and any member who's lost somebody, it's really, really important that our kids are remembered. And so we are forever grateful for Mike and all the people that are doing this to shine a light on what it means to be Gold Stars and to remember, because as long as somebody remembers, they're still here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Andy, if you'd like to.
The Homefront Cares is pleased to support this effort. We're going to umbrella this as the nonprofit. As you know, in the support that you've provided before, Commissioners, that the Homefront Cares is primarily focused on providing bridging support to make sure that we keep our veterans, our family members of the service members, our active duty, economically viable within their lives and spiritually viable so that they can move on with the finances that we help support them with. And so, we have built a relationship over the last year. When Taya Kyle came to speak last year, we got involved with, brought her to get involved with us, but also with the Gold Star mothers. My mother's a Gold Star mother, so I understand what that's about. And it broadens our perspective. Maybe some people said, hey, isn't that mission creep for you? But I'll tell you, our board voted to support this 100% as soon as we heard about it, because we said we've got to keep this in the forefront. Mike and I are former teachers. I was at Brand X at Widefield with the junior OTCs, and we realized the attention span of the American people is fairly short because of all the data that comes at them. But we know within our community, within El Paso County, and also Teller County and the other counties that surround us, that care for our veterans is good for our economy, it's good for our culture, it's good for our society. So that information that Mike is going to be back to us, we're going to be sharing that through our website so that people understand that they can recognize their heroes also. May I take any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Steve, John, let me try to summarize. Sylvia, we'll do our best to make sure that they do know what the Gold Star means. We are fortunate in our community to have the military. I'm the son of a soldier that was stationed at Fort Carson in the early 50s. My grandmother went to work at Fort Carson in 1943 when it was Camp Carson and first opened. Most of us that have been here for any length of time have some sort of military piece of our puzzle. Our intent is simply to reach out to small communities along our travel route, engage in a dialogue that says, what do you do to support your families in your community that are military related? We hope to learn from them a little bit about what they do all across our country, and we hope to share with them a little bit about what we do here in our own community to support our military families. Thank you for your support, and if you are inclined toward beverages of a fermented nature, the Smiling Toad is one of our sponsors, and this week is a celebration week that they have set up. They are donating $1 for every pint of beer that they sell at the Smiling Toad all week long. And we have several events and activities that are taking place, a raffle on Saturday, various groups that are meeting throughout the week there. So if you are inclined in that direction or know someone, please encourage them to come and support us there. Thank you so much.
Mike, where is the Smiling Toad?
It is located off of 8th Street. There's a little Indian, Little Nepal, I believe, is the name of the restaurant. And then looks like it's a paved alley. And then there's a little shopette where Panino's is at. It is right in that little paved alley. It's not a paved alley, it's actually a road that goes back there, but it's considered 8th Street. That's the easiest way to describe how to get there. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions, comments? Commissioner Littleton.
Thanks. Just a comment. So I just certainly appreciate all of the effort and what you guys do for our soldiers and those who have paid the ultimate price. And I think that the Gold Star moms should be not just given a gold star, but angel's wings. So for what you do and what you've endured, giving up your family members for the freedom of our country. So thank you all, and be safe riding your bicycle.
It's on our list of things to do.
Well, I just want to say thank you. We do so much with the military here. I mean, just this morning, as I mentioned, we had a significant report on some of the military impacts. We talk about all the economic development all the time, and it's significant, as you know, in the state of Colorado, and certainly here in Colorado Springs in the Pikes Peak region. Fort Carson is the only base in the United States with 4 full brigades, and those are deployed over 5 different continents right now. We have extraordinary activity going on in this community related to our military. And so we're a little spoiled. We interact with the military all the time. We are aware of the military. We are thankful to the military. We in the public sector have agreements with our military members here to make sure that we're working well with them and supporting their mission in our role in core infrastructure, and so many other ways that they are supported in our community through nonprofits and faith-based community, et cetera. But there are so many other people who don't live in Colorado Springs, who don't have the kind of military presence that we have, who don't know. And I think it was mentioned, so few people serve in the military, and too many people are forgetting. And it's not, the economic impact is huge, of course, to families, et cetera, but every single human life is what is most important. And when you talk about just what you are doing, the American Legion folks who are supporting you along the way, I mentioned this on Tuesday. My uncle was just laid to rest 1 week ago this morning, who was a World War II veteran. And the American Legion folks who were there to support and honor him and all of us as a family was overwhelming. They don't forget, and you're not forgetting. And I am so grateful, and I hope that we can do more to remind people in this nation that all the apps and all the entertainment and all the social media and all the stuff that we have is only because we're a free nation and that people are able to enjoy all of that. And I think too often they forget. So I am very grateful to you all for helping people to remember and supporting these folks. I appreciate that very, very much.
Thank you very much. And if you have a bicycle and would like to join us that morning, any of you, when we leave from Fort Carson, it's 6.8 miles, police and motorcycle escort. I mean, it'd be like your own parade, so you're welcome to join in. Please arrive by 7:15. We'll line you right up. Thank you.
That's not a bad idea. I might
Okay.
have to get in touch with you on that. That's
All
pretty
right.
good. I'm not up for Arlington, dude. I mean, that's impressive.
Well, I'll let you know how that works out. Thank you so
All
much.
right, I appreciate it, all of you. We will call the roll and take a picture. Commissioner Heisey.
I'll see you on May 1st at 7:15, and I vote yes.
Commissioner Glenn.
Aye.
Commissioner Littleton.
Great respect and much thanks. Aye.
And the chair votes yes. That passes 4-0. Commissioner Clark excused, and we'll get a photo.